Good morning, y'all. Fuzzy Biker here in the Fuzzy Biker Garage. Today's motorcycle is my Royal Enfield Guerrilla 450 right there. I just turned just over 300 miles last night, so I think it's like 300.1, and had a ball on it. It's a lot of fun. So what do I think of it at about a, well, what is it first? So it's Royal Enfield's little roadster, little sports bike. It's got a 452cc dual red cam 4-valve engine with 11.5 to 1 compression, 40 horsepower, 30 foot-pound, which is about 40 newton meters, 6-speed transmission, nifty, really good nifty 6-speed transmission. It's got a 310 millimeter brake on the front, a 270 on, or 270 millimeter on the back. Front tire is a 120/70/17. If you look at it, you can really see that. Nice wide grabby tire. Got the light on. The rear tire is a 160/16 and 160/17, so 17's front and back. It's got a 43 millimeter fork. Showa? Does it say Showa? It says Showa. I'm not sure about that, but it's supposed to be 43 millimeter. Travel on the front is 5.5 inches, about 140 millimeters. Travel on the rear, it's a monoshock on the rear, and I believe that's a Showa. It's supposed to be 150 millimeters, which is about 6 inches, 5.9 inches. So, a lot of suspension for a little Sportster, isn't it? I've got other bikes that have much less suspension. What am I missing here? Seat height, this is really amazing. 30.7 inches at 780 millimeters. Wheelbase. Now that's amazing because the bike I traded in to get this, my beloved Classic 350, had an inch taller seat, and not only does it have a low seat height, it has a very narrow engine, single cylinder. 56.7 inch wheelbase, that's 1,440 millimeters. That's kind of a drag right there. We'll talk about that. Wet weight, 408 pounds. That's 185 kilograms. 2.9 gallons or 11 liters. So I was rolling on this last night, and we just rolled over 300. If I can show you that right there. 300.1 last night. So, so I rolled on this 125 miles yesterday, and I had 2.7 gallons of gas. 2.7 is what I had to put in at 125 miles. So, would I like a bigger tank? I think I would. Now, I was riding it pretty hard, so it did get pretty lousy mileage, breaking it in, right? Now it's ready for an oil change. I had a lot of fun with it. I took it on 2-lane blacktop. I took it on interstate, just a little bit of interstate, and I rode the heck out of it through town. You can't see out here. This is the sun's just starting to come up. But I rode through town quite a bit. Look at that rear end. Isn't that beautiful? And it really pulls, particularly in second gear. I was talking to a friend of mine about that. He says, well, it has to all be in the CPU, or that little, the little brain box. And I don't know. We went to Chennai, India, and saw the factory where they build these, and they bring the parts to the person as they're needed. So if they wanted to run different transmission gears, for second gear, let's say, second or third, they could easily do that. Have they done that? I don't have an answer for that. I really don't know. When you hit second, it's a real, it'll just tug right at you. So I don't know what they've done, but they've done it well. So it weighs less, it's lower to the ground, it's got a shorter wheelbase compared to my Himalayan, my Royal Enfield Himalayan, which has the same 452 engine. And it's just a whole bunch of fun to ride. Here's my bear over here. And I consider these two to be in the same league. That's a 650, this is a 450. They really cover a lot of the same ground. The looks, that's very subjective, whatever you think is better looking. That is, this is a more classic looking machine. This is a scrambler. This has got, it's got a longer wheelbase. I think it's 57.5 inches, which is, I can't remember that offhand. Let's say 1,470 maybe millimeters. This weighs about 70 pounds more. This weighs 478 pounds, I think, with a full tank of fuel, where this weighs 408. So there's quite a difference in weight. I really had a lot of fun on this bike last night. That's it. They both cover the fun realm. You know, when you talk about the fun motorcycles to ride, these are the two. This is a scrambler setup, and this will do off-roading. I have done it. It's too high geared for what we did. It'll do gravel roads and dirt roads just fine. We went to Moab and got lost, and I feel like I'm wearing this story out. And we ended up on a bunch of baby heads and ledges and stair steps, and you know, I had a heck of a time. Colorado Mark was on his Himalayan. He was going up and down, and having, you know, he was fine. But this was too high geared, so I had to run hard to get up the hills, you know. But this will do that. I wouldn't do that with this bike. This is not made for that at all. You know, this is a much more sporty machine. You know, I would say, yeah, for sure. This is the stock seat. There's a little in my little world. I got my buddies. They had, oh, you got to get the I don't know what they call it, but it's the long seat. Looks a lot like the rally seat for the Himalayan. That's the Himalayan rally seat right there. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I'm going to keep this for a while and just see what I think of it, because it's been a good seat. You know, it's been a good seat. Pretty darn good looking motorcycle. I'm starting to get, you know, this color is I'm starting to get used to that. My good friend Steve says, Omaha Steve says, this is the best color, and maybe he's right. I don't know. You know, here's the black right here. This belongs to my buddy Tony. This is an interesting thing too. We might as well talk about that right quick. So I put this on here because I had it laying around, and I can't really get it much tighter. I don't know. I'll work on that some more. It's a clamshell bag. It's a Moscow Moto, obviously. Hood 5, it says, you know, right there. Pops open like that. It should be a good bag. I like that part of it. As far as it being a bag goes, I like that. There's no external pouches. This is a place to put your phone. And I haven't used that yet. When I had put it on the ride yesterday, I had it on the ride yesterday, and it kept moving around. You know, I got to if I'm going to keep that bag, I got to do something with it. However, I might get another bag like this. This is a Rhino Walk tail bag, or not? No, this is a Rhino Walk tank bag actually, and so is this. And I might get one of these. You know, it's got the two side pouches. Here I go opening Tony's bag again. You know, it's got the center pouch, just comes up. It looks like a good bag. I might get one of those for this. I might take this one off and try it on this bike for a while. Other features of the bike, you know, tubeless tires. This one, I have TPMS through my phone. I put those on the other day. Those are a set that I've had for a long time. I just haven't, I'd like to have one with a reader on the dash, but I think for this bike I'll be okay. So speaking of the dash, this is a bike. This is one of 10 that made it into America. They have a different dash. Instead of having a TFT, they've got this analog setup, and it's a lot like my Super Meteor over there, but it's not the same. It's got a different. It even seems like a different size, but the background's different. So it's analog through the back, and here's the fuel gauge, time, gear indicator. Right there is the odometer. And then if you use the button right here, you can look at the odometer, trip A, trip B. It's got an oil light, which I really like. It's got a battery light, which I really like, you know. And there's the ABS light and the engine light. This is a tripper system. That's to help give you turn-by-turn navigation. And I haven't used it yet on this bike. I have used it on I think my Super Meteor has it. And it took a lot of power out of the phone. So if you do that, you got to really plug your phone in. There's a USB-C right here on these bikes, so you can do that. Plug your phone in, you leave your phone in here or whatever, and you have to leave the screen on your phone. Now the screen that you leave on is black, but you still have to leave it on. As far as switch gear goes, the clutch, the information button, pass to flash light, low beam, high beam, blinker, horn. Am I in neutral? No, I'm not. Let's get that in neutral. These are the hazard lights. And then this is the start button. So kill switch is right there. Run switch is right there. You can hear the tank. This is the mode button here. I'm not sure what that does on this bike. Because I don't have the TFT to show. That's one of the shortcomings, I guess. But then to start the bike, you rock the switch this way. Absolutely stock exhaust. Everything on this is stock. not too bad. I'm starting to get some color in the pipe. Finally, that's the catalytic converter. It's got a good sound. It really has a lot of torque. Like I said, I was driving around town. I was just amazed at how spirited it was. You know, it had a lot of pull, a lot of pull, if you know what I mean. It had a lot of fun with it. I'm a little. I don't know what to do. We're going to do something different with the color. I don't know what to do for add-ons. I've got something. I'm going to move the mirrors out. That was one thing I had last time. Was I see a lot of my shoulder in the mirrors for me. I don't know. I'd like to put a DNA filter in it, a fuel X on it, and a pipe to either the whole pipe or at least get rid of the catalytic converter. And I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that yet. So I'm going to think about that. I've got plenty of time. You know, this is what, November, so it isn't a big rush to, you know, go out and play with it. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. You know, I think it's a hot rod. Of all my motorcycles, I don't think I've added any pipes to any of my bikes other than my Harleys, and those came with those. You know, those came with the aftermarket pipes. So I think that's. I'm going to give that a lot of consideration. What do y'all think? So it's a hot rod motorcycle. It's a roadster. It's going to be rode. You know, it's got a small fuel tank, so it's going to be rode 125 miles at a time. It's you know, should a guy just jazz it all up with the aftermarket stuff? As far as, you know, performance, I think I might do that on this bike. Colorado Mark and Omaha Steve had CAD deletes on their bikes, and I think Colorado Mark has a Zard, and Omaha Steve has a AEW on his. And you know, I might go that route. You know, I might go that route. I'm really giving that some thought. Hey, you know, if I do that, I'd like to get the pipe from the head all the way back. And I'd like to see that before I commit to it, you know. It's a big deal. So all LED lighting, you know. I mean, look at this. It's very, physically, it's a small motorcycle. You know, there's an Interceptor right there. That's an Interceptor over yonder, you know. Very large bikes compared to this bike. It's, over yonder's an MV Agusta. That's a little tiny bike compared to this bike, but it's been a lot of fun. Chain drive, by the way. We're gonna have some fun with this one. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Now, if y'all are interested in one of these, a new or used Royal Enfield Triumph classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, helmets, gloves, jackets, gear of any type, get yourself over to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa, or go to baxtercycle.com. Tell those fine folks that Fuzzy Garage Fuzzy sent you. Fuzzy Garage Fuzzy. What? Okay. It's going to be a beautiful day here. I am going to go riding today on that bike. I do have to run to the Harley shop this morning. When you own Harleys, you have to go to the Harley parts store and get parts periodically, and today that's what's going to happen this morning. But this afternoon, that thing's going to get some miles on it. We're gonna, you know, I think I better change the oil first, right? Hey, life is good. Get out of that easy chair, get off that couch, get out there and live it, my friends. Wahoo! That's the guy. That's the guy that owns it. Oh, that's dude.
You gotta keep the greasy side down.
Wahoo! Vermont? Wahoo!
Wahoo!
Wahoo, Alaska!